we have Nonokoto Simpeh et al. Okay, so he's speaking to us on Industry 4.0 technologies as a solution to the negative environmental impact costs. You have 10 minutes, sir.
All right. Yes. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric Simpeh, and I'll be presenting this paper on behalf of my co-authors. That is Prof. John Smallwood and Sandy Sway Nkonto. All right. So the title of the paper is Industry 4.0 Technologies as a Solution to the Negative Environmental Impact Caused by the Construction Industry. Right, so I'll walk you through from the introduction to the recommendation. Right, so I'll start with the introductory section. So in the construction industry, a lot of waste is generated, and this can be attributed to design changes, mistakes during construction, non-conformance to standards as far as materials are concerned, poor planning, error when ordering, and adverse weather conditions. So given the fact that a lot of waste is generated in as much as the construction industry is concerned, it also has adverse effects on the environment. Please, can you circle back to the first slide? Okay. Oh, okay. I should reset. Okay, thank you. Sure. So one of the possible ways in terms of mitigating the negative environmental impact caused by construction is adoption of Industry 4.0 technologies throughout the project life cycle. However, research related to the practice of Industry 4.0 application, particularly with respect to environmental sustainability within the construction industry, remains under explored. Given the fact that previous studies have tended to focus on awareness or readiness of Industry 4.0 without considering any linkage to environmental outcomes. So I've provided two examples with respect to works carried out previously. One has to do with Javed, who studied, concentrated on the manufacturing firms. And then the other study also has to do with Andibu, who also focused on various, solid waste. Now let's turn our attention to the research methodology section. So to achieve the aim and objectives of the study, a quantitative research approach was adapted, and then the data was collected through an online questionnaire survey consisting of Likert scale type questions. In terms of the sample size, general contractors who are members of the Eastern Cape Builders Association and design team members such as architects, quantity surveyors, and construction project managers were sampled. So a total sample size of 60 was obtained, and in terms of the data analysis, we adapted descriptive statistics where frequencies and measure of central tendency was used to present the findings. Now, with respect to the extent to which construction activities consume energy in the construction industry, it is evident from Table 2 that the top rank factors include building material production, raw material extraction, and building construction. And looking at the mean scores, it is evident that the mean scores are greater than 3, and it implies that respondents' concurrence is deemed to be between some extent to a near major extent / near major extent. Okay, so with respect to activities that influence the need for the application of Industry 4.0 technologies in the construction industry, it is evident from this table that, the top rank factors include high consumption level of global energy, increase of waste generation, and negative impacts that the construction industry has on the environment. Regarding the mean scores, the 3 mean scores had mean scores greater than 3, which is greater than the midpoint average of 3. And this implies that respondent concurrence is deemed to be between some extent to a near major extent / near major extent, considering the first 2 factors. And then the degree of concurrence for the third factor is deemed to be between a near minor extent to some extent / some extent. Sorry, the slides are jumping. Okay. 3 minutes more. I'll wrap up very soon. Okay, so with respect to mitigating the environmental effect, this table display technologies that can be adapted, and in terms of the top rank factors, the first one has to do with prefabricated technology for mitigating waste and energy consumption. And here the mean score is above the midpoint average of 3, and the degree of concurrence is deemed to be between a near minor extent to some extent / some extent. So in conclusion, in terms of activities that contribute to, in terms of activities that consume energy in the construction industry, the research findings reveal the top 3 activities as building material production, raw material extraction, and the construction process. Now, with respect to with respect to activities that influence the need for application of Industry 4.0, the top rank factors include high consumption levels of global energy, increase of waste generation, and then negative impacts that the construction industry has on the environment. With respect to the mitigating factors that can be adapted, it can be concluded that prefabricated technology can be adapted for mitigating waste and energy consumption. Electronic passports are relevant for waste prevention in the construction industry. And then the application of drones is also relevant for monitoring construction activities. Now, in terms of recommendations, the following recommendations are put forward. The first has to do with the need for improved awareness and education to broaden construction stakeholders' knowledge regarding the merits of adopting Industry 4.0 technologies. And then the second is to lay more emphasis on the technologies identified in this study, particularly the promotion of prefabrication and modular construction. And then third is to encourage circular economy principles supported by digital technology. Okay, so in terms of future research directions, given the fact that the findings are related to data collected within the Nelson Mandela Bay and Buffalo City metropolitan areas in the Eastern Cape, the findings cannot be generalized, to the whole country. Hence, the steady advocate for further studies in other provinces of South Africa, as well as other developing countries, to establish whether similar findings would emerge. And then future research is needed to explore the potential of integrating various Industry 4.0 technologies to foster circular economy adoption in construction. And then considering the quantitative nature, it is imperative to conduct, a mixed research in order to get a robust finding. These are the selected list of references, and thank you for your attention.